guys, Justin here with J Hart Model Works. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done an update, and for the most part that's really just because there's absolutely nothing to update on. I started to work on the engine, got the block painted, got the pistons painted, was working on the cylinder heads, and I got those all painted up and assembled. But in the process, these cylinder heads have... Come on, focus on the printer. The cylinder heads have these tiny nubs on them that locate into the engine block casing. And I have managed to break all of them off of one of my cylinder blocks. So I was test fitting it to make sure that it would still fit and that I could line everything up properly. And I can. And then I was messing with some other stuff, and I thought I had put everything up. I went to go and put everything kind of back together as another dry fit before I started gluing. And lo and behold, the other half of this engine block is not in my box, nor were the pistons. So I went looking around and I found the pistons on the top of my shelf. The pistons were sitting right about here, but there was absolutely no engine cover. And so I'm looking around. I'm telling myself it has to be here. It has to be here, and it has to be somewhere. I'm not left this little 4 foot by 4 foot corner around my desk. That being said, I started stressing and had an anxiety attack. And at 2 in the morning, I got out of bed because I couldn't sleep. And I moved my paint rack with all of my paints and my tools and stuff in it out. I took my computer completely apart, pulled it out of here, took literally every single item off of my desk, pulled my desk out of the corner, swept and mopped. No idea what happened. It's just gone. It's completely vanished. I checked outside around my spare booth, in the garage. There's nothing in the garage. I moved my wife's computer desk around, and then I put everything back where it belonged, and I went to bed around 4:30, well, really about 5. I went to bed around 5 in the morning and got back up at 6:30 to help my wife get ready for work. So, yeah, no engine, and without the engine you can't mount the exhaust, and without the engine in place you can't mount the chassis to the body, and you can't mount the chassis in the body. You can't, well, I can't do the wheels and the brakes until I have the chassis in the body, because I need to figure out kind of how much offset I'm going to need to kick these wheels out because of that wide body that I made. So yeah, I was talking to Sean, and Sean's completely done with his kit. He's got his done. I've seen pictures. It looks fantastic. Sean did an absolutely awesome job. Knocked it out of the park. But Sean's waiting on me. And he's not waiting. He's got some other buddy builds going. He's working on some other projects. So thankfully he's not just sitting there waiting on me, but he is kind of waiting for me before he posts his up. So talking to Sean's like, hey, I've got another Fujimi Enthusiast kit. It's for the 911, but it doesn't have a body. I just bought it for some parts or something. I'll send you the engine, see if you can make that work. So he sent me the engine, and I assembled it, and it looks like this, which I think looks fantastic. However, it's a V6 and it doesn't fit inside the chassis. In the one-to-one builds, because there's people who've done this in a one-to-one build, they put a 6-cylinder 911 engine in it, and they end up having to take the rear seats out and move the back side of the chassis, the interior forward, to to make room for that engine and transmission. And I'm not going to do that to this kit because, one, I've already got the entire interior done. Two, that would mess up the roll bar. Three, just no. Also, I don't have the body's all painted, so I'm not going to go that route. So I've packed this up and sent it back to him. Maybe he's got something he can use it for. Who knows? But looking on eBay, I was gonna buy another kit for the 356. Cheapest one I could find was about $65 plus shipping. I'm unemployed still. That's not. My wife was like, you know what, just if you didn't have a buddy build, I'd say no, but you've got a buddy build, so fine. But I ended up, Fire Rods has a resin cast for this engine. So Fire Rods resin casting for this was about $15 plus shipping. It's about $30, but total was about $30. It's coming out of the Netherlands. This way I don't have an entire kit that I'm not going to build, because honestly I would not. It would be a really long time before I built another Porsche. I think I already have builds planned for the next year, which is very rare because usually I don't buy another kit until I'm pretty much getting finished with one. But I had kind of a situation, and I had some money, but it was one of those you either spend it or you lose it type deals. So I went ahead and picked some kits up. So yeah, that's coming from the Netherlands, but that's probably, they're estimating between the 5th, which was yesterday, and the 18th. So anywhere a week or two I'll probably get it, I hope. And then after that I've probably got at least 2 weeks before I really have the kit done, because once I get the other half of this engine in, I'm going to resin cast a copy of his resin cast so that I can mess with it and see if I can make everything work the way I want it to work. Because I would like to build it normal. You know, I would like to use this half of this engine and the half from the other engine, and you know, assemble everything with the pistons in place. His casting does not include the pistons. You'll never see the pistons anyhow, so it's not that big of a deal that they're not there, but I'm pretty sure they didn't show me the actual parts, but I'm pretty sure it's solid. The actual block parts are solid, in which case the pistons won't fit in here because this one's hollow, and the other side on the other piece was hollow as well. So you would take your pistons, which fit your pistons inside, and put the other side in place. And then with your pistons mounted in place, you put your cylinder heads over in front, attach them to that engine block. So like I said, you're never going to see the pistons, they're completely contained. But I'd like to build them if I can, so I'll probably try to resin cast a copy of his and then use my Dremel tool to hollow out my copy. That way I don't mess up the original, and I'll still have the original, and if I have to, I'll just glue the two parts to the original on his resin cast together and just use that with no pistons in it. But one way or another, I will get this built. But once I get that engine in and get the engine done, and then get the engine mounted in place, then I can get the I still have some scratch building I want to do, because I want to build some custom air cleaners for it. I want to build some ignition coils for it. I do have the distributors wired, so there's a little bit of work that's going to go into assembling the engine. And then after I get all that in place, then I can mount the chassis and interior into the body, and from that point I will be able to see what I'm looking at with these wheels. How much of an offset am I going to need? I'm thinking I'm going to need about 5mm added to the rears, and I'm going to need about 2, maybe 3 to the fronts. I might not need any. I might be able to pull the fronts off. It's just gonna be real iffy. It's gonna depend on how it looks when everything's in there, and I can't tell that until I get everything mated up. And then I've got to do some more scratch building to do some bumpers and the tonneau cover and mount the glass. And I think that's about all I have left to do. But everything right now is just kind of waiting on that engine block. So until I get that engine block in, I'm kind of twiddling my thumbs. Also, I've never done, well, I've tried to resin cast, and I kind of sort of made a couple of parts on the Lotus Esprit that I built right before I started this channel, but not a whole lot, and they weren't parts you're really gonna see. They weren't real pretty. They were like caps for shocks, because I lost a part. So it might take me a few tries to resin cast this properly, but like I said, we're going to see what happens and try to go from there. So that's what's going on. That's why there hasn't been an update. That's why there probably won't be an update for a while. I'm just waiting on shipping at this point, just waiting on parts to get here from the Netherlands. And as soon as I get something more done, I will get you guys an update, and we'll be proceeding on from there. Again, Sean, sorry you're waiting on me. I'm glad that you're not just waiting on me, that you've got other things that you're doing. Your project looks great. If you guys have not checked out Sean's channel, go ahead and check him out. He's got some great stuff that he's done. So yeah, you guys, thanks for watching, and y'all have a great weekend. Bye. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Also, feel free to leave comments, feedback, critique, or anything else in the comment section below. I enjoy interacting with all my viewers in the comment section and try to reply to all the comments I receive. If you want to catch future videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you click the bell notification icon so you can be notified when I upload new videos. As always, thank you for watching, keep modeling, and have a great day.